Hello everybody, this is Alex with another tech tip for the week. I wanted to go over an app that everybody has been kind of talking about. We just barely heard from the Apple people that we are going to have Explain Everything pushed out to every iPad at both Jackson and Glendale, which is very exciting. Explain Everything is the app that is on the second row and the third in from the left on my screen. It looks like a blue square with a light bulb inside of it. This is an incredible application, mostly because the students are going to be able to give very authentic explanations of anything that needs to be told. So think in your own teaching about what type of material that the students might need to be conveying and explaining in their own thinking. This goes really well with math, so think about story problems. Think about being able to explain what the main topic of a paragraph is that they're reading. Anything that they need to explain in depth, and they can record with this app. So I'm going to go ahead and open up Explain Everything. This is the main screen. I just kind of wanted to go over some of the features today to explain how to use it and explain that it can be a very easy program to use, but it can also do a lot. It has a lot of flexibility. Don't get burdened by how big this program is. There's a lot you can do with it, but there is not a lot you have to do with it. So I hope you hear me saying that. So I'm going to give you some examples today, but I'm also just going to kind of go over the explanation of how to use this app. This is the first screen. You might see another screen before this as a little tutorial, but this is the main screen that you'll open up to when you start using the app. Upper left-hand corner, we see that friendly plus sign right there. I'm going to tap on that to start a new project. So tap there. What you see here is you've got several different options for how this is going to look. You can choose landscape, portrait, or 16:9 for HD TV. Underneath that, you have these strange squares with other rectangles inside of them. These are your color palettes. So I usually use the one on the left, but you can do any of them, whichever one you'd like. So I'm going to tap the one on the left. Now what we have is a new screen here. Let me just go ahead and explain what we have here on this screen, and I'm going to use one of these tools to kind of explain here. So over here on the left, you can see that we've got, this is the toolbar over here. Okay, I'm using one of the pointers right now to explain stuff. Down here at the bottom, we have a color palette. You can see that we've got black, red, and blue. We can change those. Down at the very bottom, we've got an explanation of what slide we are on. We can also add extra slides if we need to. This is where we record whatever we're going to explain, and this is how we share all of our Explain Everythings. Okay, so let's just go over here and talk a little bit about what all of these are. This hand at the top, if I tap on that and I have something on my screen, it is going to move whatever object is there. Okay. Next, we have the pencil. This pencil, just like in Notability or any of the other programs, makes it so we can write. Okay. Let's go ahead and tap on that again. As you can see, we can do larger ink fonts, I guess you could say, or sizes of pencil tip, so I can make that a much larger, broader stroke. Okay, whatever I need to do. Also, when I have my pencil selected, down at the bottom on the left-hand side, like I said before, I can change the color from red to blue, or if I tap on it again, I can choose some other random color and change my color palette. Okay, see how that's done? Now I'm actually hitting undo to erase those. We'll talk a little bit about that again in a second. Real quick, while we're on the pen, I've got purple selected right now. I'm drawing about in the middle. If you see, oh dear, in the middle, what I've got there is there's an eraser. So if I tap on that eraser, I can actually delete. Let me do this one more time. I can actually delete by tapping on the eraser. I can erase stuff. Deleting is kind of one of the funkier things that we have in Explain Everything. But make sure that you understand it can be a little bit funky when you're using the program. Okay, underneath the pencil, we have a highlighter. This is translucent, so if I do a mark there, and then I want to write over the top of it, Yes, it's translucent. You can see through the highlighter. Okay, so we've got that. Next we have shapes. Okay, we've got different types of shapes that I can put on here. I can move those shapes around if I want to. Then we've got the next thing, which you can, like I said, you can get rid of the shapes, or you can change the shapes as much as you'd like. We have fonts, so if I tap on that, this is really cool. I can change that font to make it look like however I want to. All I have to do is tap on the screen, and then it brings up a text box, and I can tap in whatever I want to, and then select the check, and it's there to be moved around if I wanted to. And I can even zoom it in and move around, much like a smartboard, which is pretty cool. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. The next button underneath the A for text is the plus button. This button is by far the most diverse button on this program. There's a lot you can do in here. I don't want to overwhelm you with everything, but if you want to add a picture of something and have them explain the picture, this is where you would go. So if you're one of those people that just wants to use the basics of this program, I would pay attention to the bottom row there, new photo and new video. You can add either of those in, and they can film directly from their iPad, take pictures. If you already have a picture or a file or a video, you can use the upper left-hand button. In the middle there, you can actually create a sound or use an existing sound. On the right, for those math teachers over at Glendale, possibly over at Jackson 2 in the upper grades, there is a math equations button which you can actually add in some of those more difficult math equation problems and the language of the math equations. I forget what that language is. Underneath that, you can actually bring in web browsers and explain a website if you want to, which is very cool. Next button down is the X. That X button is going to be very helpful with deleting things or getting rid of things. So say we're drawing a whole bunch of stuff on here and we're explaining things, and I've used a highlighter, and I'm going to do some more highlighting, and I'm talking, and then I'm going to add shapes in. Let's add a circle in here, and we're just going to go ahead and drop a circle in. Oops, right here. Let's go ahead and add a circle in. Oop. Okay, there's a circle. Lovely. Now this X button here, what I can do with this X is tap on individual items and have them all go away, which is very handy, but it's kind of funky because it's the only way that you can actually get rid of stuff that's on your screen. Okay, next button down, one that I've been using, this is the pointer. Okay, you can see that if I tap on that, it gives me a pointer. However, if I tap on it, I've got other options. Yes, you can change it to a arrow, also one that the kids like a lot. You can definitely change it over to a lightsaber. Yes, that's correct, people, a lightsaber. It's very lovely. And you can point at things and record yourself pointing at things. The information button next, this makes it so you can arrange things or edit where they are or lock items on the screen. The next button you can use that's very handy is the undo button below the information button. Okay, that's right here. I need to change that off so we're not using a lightsaber for everything.
Hello,
so the undo button is right here, and there's also a redo button that will pop up.
Talking today
next is the magnifier.
Everything.
This makes it so you can pinch or reverse pinch to zoom out and in, okay, on the screen.
So I see that
the next button down makes it so that it simplifies everything, so you don't have to see it all. You can just use the basic tools there.
Walk to school.
All right, so I'm not really going to go into a lot more detail about this, but you can add other slides in if you'd like to down at the bottom by using the plus button, or you can move over left or right in succession of where your slides are. This other thing down here, this other box at the bottom, kind of in the middle, is very important because once I hit that red button, it's going to start recording my ideas. So just as an example, put the pen on here, and I'm going to hit record and explain who this is. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Alex Rowe, and I am talking today about Explain Everything. It is an awesome, awesome application. I hit pause. Now I've got 14 seconds of recording done. I'm going to go ahead and hit play on that so you can hear it. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Alex Rowe, and I am talking today about Explain explain everything. It is an awesome, awesome application. Very cool. Okay, now think about this in terms of your own classroom. What could you use this for that the students could explain things with? It is any process, anything that can be explained. Use this application to do that. Let me just go back to the home button. I'm not going to save this project. I'm going to show you one that I've done already. Okay, I actually imported a picture of a story problem, and I explained my thinking of it. Just real quick, let's listen and see what it looks like. So I see that 7 children rode the bus. Some more children, well that's important right there, some more children walked to school, and then there are 13 children at school. How many children
Notice how I'm using
well,
different colors of ink for the highlighter?
My answer is 13, so that's total of how many are there. So we started out with 7, and then we added some more, and I don't know how many more that is, but I can do some, mathematical deduction there to figure it out. Like I could do 13 minus 7, and that equals 6. So my answer should be 6, and that'll tell me how many students were there. I really, really love this application for math for obvious reasons of them getting to explain authentically, instead of in front of a classroom, authentically explain what their thinking is about mathematical processes. This can work in the scientific process also very well, or in the writing process, but I really, really loved it in math. I used this a lot in math when I was teaching in my own classroom in 5th grade. Let's go back to another one real quick. Check this out. If you ever do sorts at in your classroom, I love this because I took a picture of a PDF. Yes, this is Words Their Way if you've ever seen it before. Took a picture, and I also made it so that I can use the hand button to drag these other bits around, and instead of having to cut the paper out, they can just do this as many times as they want to and explain their thinking, okay, about where things go or what they are. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this real quick. Record. Rat goes in the cat column because it has an A. Bit goes in the hit column. Quit goes in the it column. We've got a bat that goes in the cat column. How about a hat that goes in the cat column? And what about a cot that goes in the hot column? Lot goes in hot column. And then we've got rot going in the hot column, so forth and so on. I've recorded that now. Check this out. Record. Rat goes in the cat column because it has an A. Bit goes in the hit column. Very awesome. I used this with my own kids, and they absolutely loved it. And I could send this in as homework for the teacher to check out. So, if this is something that interests you, this is a bit more intensive, but it's very, very awesome. Okay, now last thing, down in the bottom right-hand corner, this export button. I'm going to save this real quick. Okay, I've got it. I'm going to go back real quick. Hit the export button. Okay. One of the most powerful things about Explain Everything is that you can export your projects almost any way you want to. Take a look at the top. We've got video, PDF, image, and we can also send it out as a project, okay, an Explain Everything project. So if I wanted to send it as a video, I can go ahead and select wherever I want it to go. Now, if I want to send it out to, say, I can send it to the photos, I can send it out as a message, or I could upload it to Dropbox or to Google Drive. I've got all those options down below. But the other big thing, the third one in from the top row, it says open in another application. If I want to use that, I can open it up. I have to save it real quick. It's going to compress it. What I can do, though, after this is done compressing, is I can send this over to eBackpack as an assignment for the teacher to collect. So check it out. We've got me explaining my thinking about my word sort. It's going out. Then what I can do after this is finished is you will see that it's going to bring up a familiar screen down in the bottom right hand corner. There it is, saved to eBackpack. Those of you teachers that are using eBackpack, you can tell your students that they can send it in as an assignment in eBackpack just like that. And you probably won't have the scary picture of me with my MacBook there. Anyways, hope that helps. This is Explain Everything. If you want more help with this, please let me know because I would love to come and help you. Hope that is an awesome tip for you all, and I hope it helps. See you guys around.